Welcome to Eve Singularity. I'm Major Freak, and we're going to be showing you how to counter an upwell who you're trying to reinforce or blow up using cloaky bombers. So, the range is going to be 80 kilometers. The targeting range is 81. And we've got enough leeway so the wandering of a missile, they don't really reach up to the maximum. Well, it gets pretty dodgy after about when it gets to about 5 kilometers, close to max flight range. So I've got the default orbit set to 80 kilometers. Woohoo! There you go. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Nice commenter had let me know. Alright, so the tactic is to warp in. You've already got a ping set up. So you don't have to huff around like this. And you'll get into orbit. Like so. And when you decloak, you have a 15-second timer going off, and you better be quick on the draw, because they're going to be quick on the draw too. See that? Once you target, and it only takes a few seconds to target, and you click, you'll launch, and when you do, you'll get an environmental effect that you can't warp away for 20 seconds. Now, using a bomber with halo implants, they're pretty cheap actually, will give you about 20 seconds, just over 20 seconds, 21 seconds to be exact. Well, going by the hard lock, clicking target and then waiting for the upwell to target you. For an upwell with a very nice set of sensor boosting modules, and that means one rig and one low slot. It's a Tech 2 actually. It was we blew it up. Last night. Took a couple of losses, but the efficiency was damn nice. So I've got a maxed out. It won't affect the targeting speed. Neither will implants. If it's the weird thing, I believe there's a bug that the rig will be counted twice. So it goes to 150 when it's the bonus for the upwell is only 25%. Okay, so if you exit simulation, you'll get a better read out of the rigs, because the rigs the rigs not in simulation mode will show the exact, okay, which is kind of hard because you can't really screw around with these up to show how much duration you got, which is a shame. But yeah, it's been that way for quite some time, and I never could figure it out until now. Anyway, so when you've got 20 seconds with the sucker, with this sucker and this sucker, there we go. It will give you enough resolution to target a bomber with my setup in 21 seconds. Now, if you didn't have this, it would take longer, and that's what we're going to do right now, later, because if I destroy the rig, I won't be able to test it. So I'll show you how fast I can target the Nemesis and it'll show up as 18.6 seconds. As soon as you click this, you'll see 18.6. Well, if you do frame by frame, you will. And after 18.6 seconds, it'll keep flashing, but it'll take 3 more seconds to lock. Ish. Just under 3 seconds. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato. There. Okay? That's your hard lock. So, takes you 21 seconds. Now, if I consumed a drug, it would take approximately a second longer to target. You're not really going to notice it with a very good setup like this, but yeah, yeah. If you got rid of it, say if I do it right now, so untarget, and I will unfit, and I will destroy this singularity. I can always get another one. Okay, there we go. Now I do that again, and it will take forever. See? And not only that, the blinking flash will last even longer. And I'll show you how long it takes to target when you take the drug. So a upwell without all these wonderful little sensor boosting things is going to be, without using fighters, if they don't have any fighters to speak of, it will frustrate them trying to target you. And you can get about, I think I thought I made a video, I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. It must have been a crappy video quality that I just deleted. Alright, see that? And that'll frustrate you. So, uncheck that, and we will consume the drug. Alright. Alright. And we will click. Now, if you notice, the timer is the same, I think. It'll just take longer to lock, I think. No, I think that's wrong. I forget. Anyways, complicated math sucks. Even easy math sucks for me. Alright, so here we go. And this will flash for quite some time, which is annoying for the gunner. Okay, so I'll write down the times in the description for you. So there we go. Now, it uncloaks, and you've got this window where the bomber is pretty much, it can do whatever it wants for quite some time. It can fire off quite a few rounds. I'll make a second part of this video in low sec. It'll take later tonight. I'll be able to make that. I'm just anchoring an upwell there. And it'll get a lot of volleys off, and then recloak, and you're tearing your hair out. Now, if you had those blingy modules that uninstalled, it's only got until that 20-second environmental effect. It's a good timer down for for the bomber pilot, assuming you're trying to target it right away. And that's pretty close, but they can get a few volleys off before they cloak. Now, if you have fighters, it becomes dodgy for the fighter. I mean, for the bomber. Now, this is the fastest. It's an Einherji. I think it's. Oh, I looked up a pronunciation one day, but I forgot. Now it will take. I think it'll get there, and what you do is you've got it selected, and now you're able to do this approach. I would recommend you totally do approach or just Q. So just Q and Q and sorry. Oh wait, no, that's my bad. You just click on that. I think you can do W, orbit, and you can click target, but it'll orbit at a certain speed. Now as soon as it's gotten aligned, and you activate, and it will take off like a bat out of hell, and it will get within range now. Okay, so that that pilot, even though you haven't targeted it, cannot cloak once these fighters are really close, and setting approach will make it get really close. So it's now unable to cloak up again. You probably, and then you're able to target it, but it'll take forever for you to target, so it'll be able to warp away, but at least you prevented it from cloaking up, and that's key, because it'll have to warp away instead of cloaking up and then doing its thing, because it'll cloak up. Well, the way I do it, I cloak up, and then I can just uncloak whenever I feel safe, and I can start shooting again after I instantly lock the upwell, instead of bothering with the red tape of warping back and forth, which is annoying. So that's that. I'll show you the. It's Siren. It takes a while to get, and especially since I'm orbiting at 80k. So I'll order it to approach, and then I'll hit the afterburner once it gets aligned. There we go. Okay, now we hit alignment, because otherwise it kind of goes screwy. So off we go, and it will probably run out of juice in a bit, and I think the cooldown of the afterburner won't cycle down until you actually start orbiting. Now it is. I should be watching right here. It's got 16 kilometers range, so I'll be looking that in the video to see if I actually make it in time once I'm timing it. Yeah, there you go, and close it. All right. So that was a bit annoying, and as you can see, the afterburner still has to cool down. So it takes quite a bit to get close. But if they're unlucky and they're not watching, you've got the Einherji on top of them really quick, and then you follow it up with the Siren. And then I believe the Siren has an infinite point, as in it'll have infinite duration, so you can target it and then blap it, and that's it, dead. Yeah, okay, and I'll bring you up the stats for this. It has a optimum range of 16, maximum velocity of 250. The variant, which is cheaper of course, is slower though, and yeah, it's only got half that range. So yeah, definitely, if you're looking to take out bombers that are, if you want to counter this, then definitely invest in the Tech 2 Siren and the Einherji, and you can play havoc with them. It might be close though. The Einherji at 80 clicks, at 50 clicks. I was orbiting at 50 last test. I'll link the video in the addendum. But the last test, it took just under 15 seconds to get to the Nemesis, orbiting at 50 from launch. So yeah, interesting. So the Nemesis might be able to cloak up before you get to it, but you'll be sweating, that's for sure. I don't exactly know what happens when the target cloaks and the fighters are still closing. I think they just stop immediately, but I'm not sure. But that's, well, second video I'll show you in low sec. Okay, and that's later. All right, so this is the standard Firbolg, I believe. Yes, and I'll show you how fast it gets to the target. So I'll look at this guy. Look at. All right. Let's get them to approach. Wait till they align. There we go. Hit micro warp. And bingo. That wasn't bad. But yeah, it'll take a while, and yeah, the Nemesis at 80 clicks will be able to cloak up. It was able to cloak up at 50 clicks, so yeah, that's just a comparison for you. And the Firbolg is the typical fighter. If you're the bomber pilot, a typical fighter that you'll be facing. It's just really good. But yeah, it's kind of slow. Right. That's that. I can't do any activity here because it's high sec. Now, minor freak. I'll just give you the rundown here. The at 50 click, I didn't have these two, but once I realized that the fighters were getting too close to me, I swapped out the amplifiers and put in the missile guidance computer, the meta named, and yeah, got in a display launcher because why not, right? You've only got one CPU left anyways, so not much you can play with. These are Tech 2, which is great, and I got to about 30% hull before I was able to warp away after the warp disruptor duration cycled, and it started to cool down, and I got away alive, which was great. It was a good feeling. So yeah, but yeah, it was next time would be definitely orbiting at 80 and paying more attention, and yeah, it was a bit complicated. The combat last night, I was running dual logi at the same time, so yeah. Okay, that is it. I think I've covered everything about this. Don't really need to do anything more. Yeah, typically it's like how many seconds for this to fire. It is ready to fire every 10 seconds. So you basically you got shoot, you lock it up, you shoot once, cycles, you shoot again. As soon as that second volley is off, you're gonna have to wait a few more seconds to cloak up because of the cooldown, of course. Like, oh, lol. Yeah. Once you uncloak and try to recloak, it won't work. You can target immediately after uncloaking for a bomber, unlike other ships. But yeah, you've got that cloak cooldown, so do be aware of that. So yeah, you'll be able to get off 2 volleys, cloak up right away, assuming they have fighters and the upwell has the sensor boosting stuff. And typically they don't. So you're able to take advantage of 5 or 6 volleys, I think, before it targets you. And of course you won't get that many volleys off. Maybe you'll get 3 volleys off before you'll have to cloak up and the fighters get close, I think. We'll see. As soon as I do the test in LOSAC, I'll be able to get that sorted for you. And yeah, that is about it. It's pretty funny they're at that range. Can't see them. I think I've turned my models off for the get a nice picture of this. Woohoo, fun stuff. Right about now. All right. Have a good one.